Alright, I'm still not hearing you. Uh, can you hear me?
Alrighty then. Discord's doing one of its funny things.
Alright. Quick question. Well, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly fine.
Okay, well, I can hear you perfectly fine. And, your audio is coming over microphone, I believe. So, yeah. I guess, what's up?
Not much to be honest. Just, I was kind of thinking. I was in class with a friend, and I had a discussion. You know, just banter while we were avoiding English work.
Fair.
And we got to thinking and talking more so about the left online and in general, and kind of the issues that it faces in current day. What we had come to is that there's a couple reasons why the left is currently struggling online. This avoiding everything to do with the right wing itself, we found that infighting is a big part of the reason why the left struggles. Purity testing, and yeah, no, that's what we came to. Purity testing and infighting is a huge part.
Alright. So,
go on.
Oh, no, you go ahead. If you're still making your point, please go ahead.
No, you're alright.
Alright. I mean, I guess my main question would be, I don't disagree with that. My main question would be, what specific instances of, purity testing would you say are, bad or, not helping?
Well, okay. Let me think here.
Because I do largely agree that the left does have an issue of being too busy with ourselves to deal with stuff. And I would also say the left has a very bad issue of falling for obvious bait of people trying to get popular who should not be popular. One of the issues that I see a lot is that there will be racist white power number 1488 on Twitter, and you have a bunch of leftists quote tweeting this person going oh my god, why are racists allowed to exist like this on Twitter? And it's motherfucker, that person had 72 followers before you quote tweeted them, and all of the people who hate follow you now follow that person. Good job. You know?
Yeah, I'll see that happen a lot with some bigger streamers where they'll fall for the bait and overblow some of these people.
Yeah. And it's whenever I see that, it's a situation of it makes me mad to no end, because you aren't helping anyone, not you, but whenever I see that, in my mind I go, we aren't helping anyone in falling for that kind of bait, and it's only making us worse as a movement, because that's another thing that I see too, because it's also a bunch of people that I'll see who are, I mean, pretty effectively looking at people who are just saying outright truths, not outright truths, but outright falsehoods, and then try to combat them with the actual truth, and try to educate them or whatnot. And it's they know they're lying, they don't care.
It's a vacuous effort. Trying is further engaging, and further engagement is giving them more popularity to say their incorrect statement.
Yeah, and that's go
on. I had something written down here for the bit of purity testing, just because I wanted to have something written. So, me and I'm guessing many other people online experience what's known as purity testing, where in which another person on the same side as you this is almost always done for progressive issues, more so than it's done in whether somebody's a leftist or not. That'll usually be a whole different thing.
Yeah.
I see this often done in I'm non-binary, any all pronouns, yeah. And I see this happen a lot in transgender discussion, where non-binary people are not in the question at that moment. So when bills will be passed about transgender people in the bathrooms, there will be discourse around why are non-binary people are like not included in this bill? What the hell? That's what are you doing, government? And then it starts issues beyond the people who just say this is a good bill that we passed and we should keep trying to pass these kinds of bills.
Yeah.
Instead, they say this is bad legislation. Let's try and let's push for something different because this is bad.
Yeah.
Where it's like we're getting progression either way.
Yeah.
Why look at it from the negative sense?
Yeah. And I get that too. And I do think that kind of issue comes from like a lot of like I feel that a lot of people are justifiably fairly anxious about the way that things are going, and whenever something is kind of turning in the right direction, they want it to be like fully in that direction. And it is sometimes like if you're trying to get a bill passed in a state like my state, for example, of North Carolina, which is like kind of bluish but also kind of red, you can't unfortunately go as like hard as you want. And that doesn't mean that like a piece of progressive legislation, and like that doesn't mean that you should necessarily abandon people, but like, you know, don't necessarily shut on the legislators for not being able to like force in an explicit non-binary mention in their in like their bill trying to protect trans people.
Yeah, and I think that's what I present there is just one example of, I think, many that do end up happening sorry, in the discourse that we see online. Like, this will happen in the black community quite often. I'm not black, can't speak to this entirely, but I'll see it online where...
With you. Well, I am black, but, you know, like, depending on where you go, I can definitely attest to it.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm just some white guy who uses Twitter too much, but using Twitter, I see this kind of stuff happen, and I'm gonna say I really dislike the whole idea where people will bash it like, oh, it doesn't actually count, it's not real discourse because it's on Twitter, like it's just jokes, it's Twitter. But that's our marketplace, that's where people discuss things.
Yeah.
It goes from rather courthouses where people discuss things at like 400 people to now 400,000 people about very radical opinions on Twitter.
Yeah. And that is one thing that I do think a lot of people don't realize. Is Twitter, in the grand scheme of things, when it comes to electoralism, are the opinions of people on Twitter going to be like the best predictor for more general real politics stuff? No, but I do think Twitter is a very good gauge for where politics can go, just due to the fact that Twitter is mostly, at least like in the political spaces that I interact in, and I'm sure you interact in, Twitter is full of political radicals, and 9 times out of 10 political radicals become the political reality in a country eventually. Because a radical is only someone on the outside of the Overton window, and that Overton window can shift. The political radicals on Twitter in 2016 are the political reality of like the Republican political radicals of 2016 are the political radicals of 2023 in like government.
Yeah. Oh, what the fuck is my cat doing? Sorry.
You have a cat?
Yeah, I have 2. They're cute. I'll send you a picture.
Aw. Do you mind if I show the pictures on stream?
For sure. I gotta go grab one really quick. Give me 1 second.
Go ahead. Love cats. Radio free cat, but also with negotiations we should try for more radical demands rather than... Yeah. I'm a full believer that when it gets down to it, we should be more radical in the demands that we make, but also I stand with the belief that we should also be able to like know when, oh, ill, no, ill. Where is it? Aim with motion controls? Fuck off. No. That is disgusting. Ill.
Alright, I'll try to show it later on the stream, but My cats ran away, and I can't find them.
Cats are to do what they wish to do. What point exactly were we just on? I'm sorry.
We were talking, I think, about Twitter radicals.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically the Republican Party of 2016, the radicals on Twitter from Gamergate era are now the moderates of the Republican Party.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I completely agree. We've seen a huge jump in not only far right, but fascist even leanings in the general right.
Yeah. And
go on.
Oh, yeah, and that's the thing about it too. That's why I do take a fairly massive issue when I see like other leftists arguing with like, again, racist Groiper 1488 on Twitter and like bumping up their views, because it's like you want to see less of these people, and the way that you see less of these people is unironically by not giving them attention. Like, give them my general philosophy when it comes to things like this is, if you have a platform to expose them and to get them like banned and shit, just say, hey, here's another racist, get them banned, and leave it at that. I don't necessarily like when you have people trying to argue in good faith with people who just want you dead, because at that point you're doing nothing but giving these people attention and making your hate followers, because leftists have a lot of hate followers. I have a couple of hate followers on Twitter. And like my general thing that I do whenever I see one of them, or like a Groiper following me, is I'll just like soft block them. But by like allowing these people to exist and allowing these people to, you know, kind of proliferate by retweeting them and like quote tweeting them and trying to correct them when they know they're wrong and they don't care that they're wrong, all you're doing is spreading what they are, and that's not a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll see this. I've seen this a couple of times done by, like, I'm a fan of Vosh or whatever, but I've seen him do this a fair few times on stream, on Twitter, on wherever he is on, where he finds a very small, like, account, very minor situation compared to the general situation, and blow it up to be a lot bigger than it actually is and create a point of discourse around it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of an exact example here.
I will say, if you do point to anything like more recent than 2021, I'm not going to remember it because I haven't really watched Vosh since then. I have nothing against him. It's just like I kind of just stopped watching his content.
That's fair.
Yeah, but
I think some of the shit he did with Shoe on Head, like last year, maybe something like that. But broader point stands. He has done it. I've seen Xander Hall do it. Dylan Burns does it way too often, but it's more of an account like shitting on Ukraine that he'll just retweet and be like, well, actually.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much it helps the actual left in the other than like reminding people like, hey, we're in a bad place.
Yeah.
And just keep doing the same thing of, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad, it's getting worse, it's bad, it's bad. It's just cluttering our heads with that.
Yeah, and that's something that I've also seen as an issue, and it's one thing too that I try to say whenever I get the chance, but like I personally, whenever I'm not doing YouTube stuff, I try to get away from politics as much as possible, because I was unironically, like, I was basically killing myself with stress just constantly consuming political content, because like it got to the point where it got so doomery where I was just like, holy shit, like it isn't healthy for me anymore to deal with it. And like, I do still keep in mind that things are not the best right now, and that is an understatement. But it's also one of those things of like, I can't let myself get so doomered and stressed over it that like I can no longer function. And that's something that I always encourage people to do. And that is an issue that I do see in people constantly engaging with this kind of crap on platforms like Twitter. Because it's like, all you're doing by engaging with these people are letting some of the most heinous people on the planet get in your mind and like ruin your day, and you can't let that happen over a Twitter argument, you know? Because like, again, Twitter is important, but at the same time, you know, like, your mental health is worth way more, and there's no reason to give these people attention.
It's like existential nihilists. In any conversation they'll just, oh, it doesn't even matter because the world's gonna die anyway, and nothing you do ever exists. Like, it's unnecessary. Of course, these things may be a reality, but we don't think about these things often for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, I'll point to an example in my own life with getting away from politics. It's a lot harder in my situation because I do a lot of stuff when it comes to my municipal politics.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Canada, so it's quite different, but also not, because a bunch of the issues brought up in our politics is related to what the US has in its politics.
Yeah.
So, like, any time of the day I can find a way, I'll escape from whatever it is that's online. If the current hot topic is Donald Trump rape allegations or like being indicted for it, then I'll just go watch some random history video on YouTube or go for a walk.
Yeah.
Like, anything you can do in your life to just not think about these things can help.
Yeah. Yeah,
especially with the people in these kinds of audiences, yours, anyone on Twitter. It's quite a large point in their life because they usually don't relate to the modern conformity, I guess would be the word. Yeah. They just don't conform to modern society as well.
Mm. Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I mean, I feel like what you're saying is entirely true. And like I said earlier, you know, me personally, I have had to kind of separate myself from that field just due to, I mean, like, stress it caused me. And, you know, 9 times out of 10, even like when it came to dealing with Twitter, I used to be the kind of person to get into sort of frivolous arguments, and like it led to the point where I'd like be in classes and just constantly checking Twitter to make sure that, you know, oh, I got more likes than this person, or oh, I have to come up with like a quick rebuttal. And like, since I created a, you know, separate Twitter account that isn't tied to that kind of crap, I've been so much less stressed, and I think that's what more people need to do. It is a thing of like, don't be politically apathetic, don't just entirely separate yourself from it, but at the same time, don't let it consume you. Like, find some joy in life and stop engaging with people who want you, you know, to not be around. And that's something too that I see a lot with a lot of content creators talking about, you know, like, it was a meme that went around a little while ago, but it was like someone had drawn a little thing about like, it was some minority group content creator, and it was like some bigger content creator in that group retweeting something from like someone who hates that group and going like, oh, you're wrong and you're hateful. And then it's like suddenly that person gains more likes, like I said earlier. Or like the whole deflection thing where it's like someone retweets something, or like someone tweets out something transphobic, and then you like respond to it in a quote tweet, and then like you're just fucking doomering all of your trans followers by doing that. And again, it is important to argue against these people, But like, you don't have to do it every time, you know? That's how I
Exactly.
feel.
Like, if you're sitting in bed, let's say it's 1 in the morning, because I know you people. You're on Twitter, avoiding sleep. Why not, even if you don't want to sleep, because I get it, open up a different app, watch YouTube, play chess. It's just, all of these things are better for you. And
Yeah.
even if you do want to stay on Twitter, go find a fun thread to look at of, like, nature. Like, don't stick your dick in that Twitter, or, like, I don't know, anything else.
Yeah, or like fucking, one thing that I do is on all of my like non-political accounts, I just follow like a lot of art content. And that's something that makes me pretty happy to see. It's like, oh, I just had like a rough day today. Instead of going on Twitter and like getting my blood pressure up arguing with some dumb fuck over politics, I'm going to look at Kiana Mai on Twitter shipping Ash's mom and fucking Jessie from Pokemon. Like, it's so much better, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Like, it is so much better because it's less stressful. It's healthy. It's nice.
I got it.
It's not healthy to overstress people over politics, and I do think, to kind of tie it back to the wider thing we're talking about like with the way the left engages, it's so much healthier. I feel like one of the issues that we have is that we have, and again, we are dealing with actual issues, but we've gotten to the point where we've almost paralyzed ourselves with like the issues that we are dealing with. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like we are so stressed and so anxious that we are unable to properly plan, that we are unable to properly draw conclusions because so many things are being tossed at us. At the end of the day, we shouldn't have to care. Like, we should pay attention to what people like Matt Walsh are saying so that we can argue against them. But we shouldn't be focusing on it so hard that it's all that we're talking about.
Like, yeah, of course. And, like, going on Twitter itself, it didn't cause you stress.
Yeah.
The app is, of course, social media is, like, made to make you feel stressed. It's like that entire thing, but you as a person have the agency to change your feed. You can create a new account and find things that do make you enjoy the application more so than all of that. Like, I've actually thought of an example here to relate to what we were talking about earlier. Like Vanderhall, back a few months, I think, he had his whole, like, lolicon pedophile thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where he went on a big scree of going on against everybody, and, like, that is a good thing.
Yeah.
Getting a bunch of those people banned off Twitter, good thing. But if you've ever been on the internet before, one thing you'll know,
those people
like,
don't go away.
They don't go away. They'll make 4 new accounts. 1/4 of people on... this is not a real stat. But I'm saying, like, 1/4 of people on the internet are probably pedophiles. You're never going to get rid of all of them. There's effort in trying, but making it such a large thing to where people have genuine distaste in their own life because of some shit on Twitter, even if it does relate to a real thing, isn't healthy and doesn't advance the real life. It doesn't advance the real life discourse behind it or the real life situation. Banning lolicon accounts off Twitter is not stopping child predation in the real world.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Oh, I just lost 1,000 Twitter followers. Okay.
Yeah, hopefully not. But yeah, no,
hope so.
that is how it is, and I think part of that too is just, I think the left has a really bad issue with actually getting our internet audiences out to doing physical shit. And that is...
I think that
Go on.
comes with... I think that comes with, though, being in the situation we are, I guess.
Yeah. Because it is...
Behind the politics.
Yeah. It is very difficult to get our audience politically motivated, especially considering the fact that we don't have the funding like the right does. Like, the only reason why TPUSA exists is because of fucking oil money. Like, let's be honest. But if leftists had, like, student organizations like a TPUSA, holy shit, we would be so powerful. And that's something that I would love to see. But, you know.
Well, yeah, because when it comes down to it, we're right in the things we say most of the time.
Yeah.
And as a very funny man once said, facts don't care about your feelings. And when you feel as if you feel that the positions you hold are... Sorry, I'm terribly high right now. It's so hard to think.
You're fine.
Yeah, when you as a person think about the general political space, it's not that you... Oh, fuck. I'm literally... Sorry, this is the worst.
It's fine. Take your time.
Okay, backtrack there for a few seconds.
Mm-hmm.
In the political spaces we're in, we need to become better at recognizing when people are attempting to divert us off of our actual path of discourse and progression.
Yeah.
Our goals are, or I think most of our goals are, progressive LGBTQ rights, like reducing the GOP, fucking over capitalism. These things are the core things we all believe in.
Yeah.
But we get sidetracked in these little dumb fuckeries. If I can I swear?
Yeah, a fucking course
Okay.
you can. Shit. What kind of question is that?
I don't know.
It cuts off a fucking time. Go ahead.
the little bullshit we get stuck into, and we need to find better ways of not falling for these traps and pushing for these things we actually believe in.
Yeah. And
Like the audiences that we attract as left-wing people, they're going to be more introverted. They're going to be more mentally unwell. They're going to be less amicable to direct action. And we have to use that to our advantage in any way we can see. Progressive Victory, for example. They're an amazing group of people who their whole thing is like a big bit of it is phone banking. Oh my gosh. They get a lot of people who typically wouldn't do anything with politics in the real world, and they throw you at it. Say, get in there, kiddo.
yeah.
And it's worked.
Yeah.
I think I cut you off there. What were you gonna say?
Oh, no, you didn't. I was just, like, agreeing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Please, do continue.
Yeah, I think that's the big crux of what I was coming here to talk about, more or less. Like, I hate seeing online when people just get stuck. When we get stuck on these little things that don't mean anything.
Yeah.
They don't help us. They, if anything, help our opposition and slow us down.
Yeah.
Like they're holding a mirror and we're trying to fire a laser in their eye.
Yeah. And
What are you doing?
I don't know what else I can really say onto that. I was honestly just gonna give an example from me if you aren't done speaking.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. I will say, like, that is something that I had to learn recently myself. Like, I don't know if you're. I think you were actually. You've been following me for a while. But like a couple of months ago, during the whole, I guess you could say, Cassandra Nia arc, um, I had to. It was a situation where, like, I had debated her, and then she stayed in the server for a little while, and like, well, it was
sorry,
right.
if you don't mind me.
Uh huh.
I do not know what you're talking about, the actual situation.
Okay. Oh, it's a funny one. So
Yeah, I'm a fake
basically,
fan, not bad.
it's all good. It's all good. I know you're right. I don't blame you for not knowing. I try to forget myself. Um, basically, a couple of months ago, there was holy shit. The Koroks in this game are actually kind of cute. I never thought I would say that. I fucking hate Koroks, but they're actually kind of cute in this game.
Aww.
Huh?
Damn, Koroks are so cute.
Yeah. I usually don't like them because of their quests, but I do think they're like adorable little creatures. I would buy a Korok plushie. I would let Nintendo market them to me.
Okay.
But yeah, basically a couple of months ago, I discovered this weird little cohort of Twitter that was basically a bunch of like trans white nationalist cat girls. Which was,
I've been in this circle. Yeah, okay.
yeah, it was like crackheaded shit, and I debated one of them. Well, first I like made a video on her, and I was like, okay, I think this person is like a troll because holy shit. And then it turns out they weren't a troll, and I was like, okay, so I'm gonna have to like deal with this now myself. And I debated her, and I remember like leading up to the debate, she wanted like a lot of fucking attention out of me, and she got like a lot of attention out of people in my server, which like, you know, I let her just, I pretty much, she joined the server and I chudded her, and she stayed in the chud role for like a while, and you know, while she was there, she caused some stir, and like people in my community were actively arguing with her, but like I honestly kind of came to realize that her being there was really doing nothing but just exposing my community to people like her and kind of encouraging people to actively argue with her, which like, you know, go ahead and do it, have fun with it, fuck her. But I realized that she was pretty much like Cassandra Nia was only having fun arguing with people in my community. And like when I realized that, I basically came to the conclusion of like, I'm going to debate her, I'm going to blow her the fuck out, and after I do this, she's getting banned. Immediately she's getting banned. And one thing that I never really shared is that when I banned her, she pretty much begged me to stay in the server in DMs. And she was like, oh, well, I can debate you on this, or we can do this again, and yada yada yada. And I was like, no. Like you're gone. You're done.
Like, if I could say something here.
Uh-huh.
I think all that having people like that in your community, not just in yours, but in any kind of community, any community with opposing beliefs, that you let somebody with venomous, harmful beliefs into, all it really does is the people who are there who disagree will continue to disagree and argue about it. They don't like white nationalism, and they'll continue to. But the people in your community who are not of that belief, who are more moderates, will, if anything, it just kind of exposes them to those ideas, giving them a higher likelihood of abandoning their initial beliefs and adopting those.
Yeah.
Or like becoming further and further right, whilst the further left people will stay in their zone. You'll just lose off of it. You won't gain, because they don't have a following to gain from.
Yeah.
Which is why I think specifically Twitter is so harmful. Like, if you're a big streamer or a big YouTuber and you debate another big YouTuber, Sargon of Akkad and Vosh having a debate 3 years back, that's less of an issue, because two big people already having big platforms, it's like you're trading fans at that point. And of course, you would want to gain more from that than lose.
Yeah.
Which is the issue with discourse and debate in itself. You can't always have that benefit. Of course, it's the cause, like the risk-reward factor.
Yeah.
But when you're coming at it from you have a platform and they don't, it's nothing but harm.
Yeah.
You don't. Mm-hmm. And I think in that situation there, if I'm understanding it correctly, it's just some random.
I mean, for me,
it's a random transgender cat girl.
The novelty of it is what got me to do it, and also, it is. I will say, from a debating standpoint, it's fun to dunk on Nazis, but I will be the first one to admit I honestly irresponsibly platformed Cassandra Nia. Like, honestly, wholeheartedly, I irresponsibly platformed her, and I feel horrible about it to this day.
Yeah, I won't impugn you for it, because probably you did it in earnesty, of course.
Yeah.
But it's a thing that I've seen a lot of people fall for. A bunch of smaller content creators. I fell for this back when I tried to do streaming.
Yeah.
Where I used to do political streaming on Mixer when that existed over my Fortnite gameplay. It was so much fun. And one time I was streaming and I found a guy who entire Nazi, like profile picture, like German emblem, they wanted Jews dead.
Yeah.
And I brought them onto my stream, beat them in the Fortnite 1v1, and then they just spewed their entire spree. And I had people in my chat tell me that they had left because they beat me in the debate. They think that those ideas are more correct now.
Mm.
And it kind of gave me a better understanding of this, in my eyes at least, where I see, why would I bring that person on? What do I gain from that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And I definitely see where you're coming from there, because it does, honestly, at a certain point too, it kind of becomes a question of, at what point is it fine platforming where you're blowing this person out, and at what point does it become irresponsible, which is definitely a question to ask. And it's something that, like, even when you are a smaller content creator, it's something that you still have to contend with, because, like, at the time I debated Cassandra Nia, I was smaller than I am now, and she ended up, before her Twitter account got banned, she got up to like 5, like, she was growing fairly rapidly in followers. And I think part of the reason why is just because, you know, A, she was prominent, and B, I had exposed her to other content creators in my space who were bigger than me, and who themselves had looked at her and went like, holy shit, who the fuck is this? And that's honestly when I first started gaining my issue with shit like this. When I had first seen people, you know, in my space looking at this person and going like, holy shit, look at this, like, crazy person, and then her gaining more followers off of those people's hate followers.
Yeah. I think we've kind of belabored the point here. If I feel like we can probably jump to a new topic now. That's all right with you.
We can go back to something different if you want. I'm quite enjoying this conversation. If
for sure, we can keep this up then.
Yeah.
I'll let you continue then.
Well, I mean, like, if you do want to switch to something different, we can, because I do honestly
feel
like we have gone pretty.
I just don't have anything to jump up there. If you have something else to say, go right ahead.
Oh yeah. Well, I think the only thing we can really do now, then, in that case, is just, like, honestly, maybe kind of, sort of, and the issue with this is that it's technically TOS breaking, but I think it might just be healthier to tell our communities, hey, this is an idiot, don't argue with them, don't, like, debate them, don't be a dumb fuck, don't engage with them, don't give them engagement, just ban them. Just try to get them banned, just report them, just make sure their account dies. Whatever you do, do not give them any more attention than is necessary. Just file a report and keep it chugging.
And I don't even think that's breaking TOS if they're actually breaking guidelines themselves. If they say something wrong, flag that shit. Go for it.
Yeah.
And if they don't, why are we arguing?
Yeah.
Like, at that point, just don't give them attention unless they deserve attention. And none of these people do. They're fiends at this point. They eat into these communities just to gain attention. Like,
Yeah.
it's not grifting, but it's attention seeking. They're all fucking cringe teenagers who don't get enough attention from their fucking parents.
Yeah.
And they find the it's the same shit that people will say always. It's like, oh, I just say what's funny. I do it because it triggers the libs, or it makes trans people mad or whatever. It's like, of course that's probably your actual belief there.
Yeah.
But then again, why only this group then? Why not make the other people mad? Because they're easy to make mad as well.
Yeah.
In all offense.
Yeah. And I do have someone in chat saying, like, she did get, like, referring to Cassandra, she did get banned off of Twitter because of the community. And I'll say yes, but that's because Twitter was different then. Like,
Also,
mm-hmm.
she's one of them.
Yeah,
you had said she came from an entire community, right?
Yep.
So what did you really do? Got one account banned of probably hundreds?
Yeah.
To make a new one.
Even if she has made new ones, like, it's not uncommon for me to go through my follower list or to check, like, my new follower account and, like, see one of her alts or someone in her community trying to follow me, and it's like, it's almost like, what did I start, you know? And I do feel very guilty over that, especially considering the fact that, like, at the time that she came up in the community, and we can, like, move off of this topic soon, but at the time that she did come up in my community, or, like, try to get in my comments and shit, she was actively seeking me out. I first found out about her because she had commented on one of my YouTube videos, and I saw that she had, like, a Black Sun profile picture, and I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then I argued with her there.
Oh, no. Now I want to see a trans-colored Black Sun profile picture.
Yeah.
sounds horrific.
Yeah, it was literally that. It was like the trans flag and then like a black sun over it. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And the thing is too, like, she tried to comment in a way to make it seem like she was like one of my watchers, and I was like, no the fuck you aren't. Like, you aren't slick. I know exactly. I know who you are. But fuck, what was I gonna say outside of that? Oh yeah. Like, I gave more notoriety to her than she deserved, and I feel guilty about it. And honestly, I really didn't change anything. Like, even getting her banned, like, that really didn't do as much as it could have or should have. And all it did really was give her more notoriety and make people know that engaging in the kind of behavior that she was engaging on in Twitter was, like, socially acceptable. And that's sad, and it is entirely my fault due to spreading her to bigger content creators than me. And it's something I'm gonna have to live with, and it's something that hopefully gets rectified soon enough. But
And
I guess we'll have to
even
see.
then, I wouldn't even say that that's entirely your fault. It's more, I guess, the fault of having a platform, if anything.
Yeah.
Because having a platform, from what I've seen, it allows somebody further to embellish in the more pervasive ideas that they can have. That just, oh, I want to have an argument. Instead of having the argument over Twitter, where 60 people will see it, you have a discussion with somebody where a few hundred people will see it, or a bigger streamer, thousands, and then a media organization, millions.
Yeah.
It more comes down to, like, instead of looking at it as, like, I did a wrong thing, I think the better way to look at that would be, how can I do the right thing next time?
Yeah. And I guess from there, Cassandra was really the last debate I did, and that was a few months ago. And it's A, because I haven't been, like, seeking out debates, and also B, because it's one of those things where I do have to, like, recontextualize the way that I go about this, because I do think that debates are important, but I'm gonna have to do it in a way that does not platform someone who does not need a platform, and also in a way to where I'm not gonna accidentally get, like, blown the fuck out and hurt the movement by doing that, which, of course, like, I did well against Cassandra Nia, of course I did.
Yeah.
But like, I don't want to fuck up and do something that is wrong and hurtful and potentially hurts a lot of people by exposing people like this. And my aim sucks in this game. But yeah, so
it can always come to that, where you make a mistake and you try to rectify it. It happens to everybody.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, now I think we've kind of gone through this.
Yeah. So we can definitely move on to a different thing that you wanted to speak on.
Sure. What do I have written down? Went through that. We've gone through most of everything without even bringing it up.
You did say different groups of leftists online and offline, so we can talk about that. If you mean, like, the whole streamer versus fucking video essays, whatever the fuck that shit is.
Yeah. Actually, it's exactly what I had in mind there.
Yeah. So, like, what are your thoughts on that before we get into that?
So, my belief on the different groups of leftists that we see online and offline in common media is I would say, three big groups. There are people who directly push the input of pro left-wing content. There is a group that push against directly anti-left-wing content. And there's the group of people that I need to find words here to describe this group. There's the groups that they are sincerely left-wing people, but they don't promote leftism or fight against the right wing. They more attack the left-wing group to sort of find value in, like, they find value in attacking the left. Not attacking as in, like, fighting against the beliefs, but the people.
Yeah.
Those are the three main groups I would say exist. And my personal opinions on all three of them, I hate all of them. Well, no, okay, actually, no. How do I put that better? I think the people who basically attack the left are just stupid in every situation. Almost.
Fair.
And then the group that only goes after the right wing, it has their head clogged in. They don't care about nuance when it comes to the left itself. And the group that doesn't care about the right and just looks directly at the left rhetorically harms the left, and I guess in the way that we actually, it hurts the left rhetorically. It's because they're the easiest group to go after by the right, because they just don't care about the right.
Yeah.
I'd say ContraPoints is a great example of that.
Yeah.
The right wing will go after her, aka, like, what's something of this?
TERFs.
Do you have an example? Go ahead.
I don't know. I mean, the thing is, Contra barely addresses right-wing shit.
J.K. Rowling.
So, yeah, like, the closest I could say is, like, TERFs. Don't like her.
Yeah.
But that's because she's trans. She doesn't really address
ContraPoints is transgender.
Yeah.
And every time something has been done to attack TERFs, that ContraPoints has a big issue with it because apparently it's anti-feminist to do so.
Yeah.
Winning which it promotes feminism because we're attacking the people who fight feminism.
Yeah.
No, fuck it. Egalitarianism. I hate feminism as a term. It's so muddied.
Yeah. I mean, well, I guess, you know, as long as you have the beliefs, then call it what you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I honestly, I would say that assessment is good. Because, like, the whole video essayist, streamer, debate, drama, whatever the fuck that is, I do think it is a very... I don't know how to put... It's like a lunchroom way of dividing the online segments of the left. Like, oh yes, you have the streamers and you have the video essayists. And, like, kind of, but I think it's less so that, and it's more so, like, tactics and beliefs and what people believe in terms of, like, the content that they make. And...
yeah, I agree with that.
Like, when it gets down to it, streamers interact with streamers, and video essayists interact with video essayists, and in the same way that, like, people that you know in real life will affect your politics, people that you know online and that you associate with and that you consider friends will also affect your politics, you know?
Yeah.
And, like... go ahead.
Yeah, like, I've had a friend of mine online who, they were quite far left in terms of their economic and social beliefs.
Yeah.
And together we're in a pretty right-wing and a pretty bigoted community. It's the fighting game community.
Oh lord. Oh god, I'm so sorry. Oh god.
Specifically, by the way, Brawlhalla.
Brawlhalla? I'm a Guilty
cancerous.
Gear fan, personally.
Ah, okay.
I've
No,
played
that's
the
pretty
Gear.
good.
Yeah.
Either way, I've seen they used to make ironic, you know, meme jokes like about the Jews at some points, or gay people, or like minorities, because edginess is funny quite often.
Yeah.
But now as I hear it, and I talk to them more, less recently, but I talk to them, these things start to seem less like a joke. The person will, instead of just jokingly being racist, they'll actually just be racist. The black person will join the call and they'll go, oh, it's, I can't say this without sounding racist.
I know what you mean. I get what you mean.
Yeah, I can't finish that statement. You get my point.
Yeah.
And I think this happens a lot as we start to see people in different communities falter in the way that they approach those communities.
Yeah.
And the fact that the sphere of people who only talk about the left, video essayists primarily, I'd say this used to be a lot different. The video essayists used to do a lot of stuff against the right wing.
Yeah.
H. Bomber Guy is a great example of somebody who a lot of his content was pro-left wing. It would talk about left wing issues, but he would hide it under the gaze of attacking the right.
Yeah.
And I feel we don't see enough of this anymore.
Yeah.
We see more... We don't talk about that stuff. We don't talk about the bigots and stuff. But this is a case where you guys have the platform to initiate these conversations and have them produce good outcomes.
Yeah.
But they don't.
And that does become, like, a massive issue when it does come to, like, the political situation we're in. I agree. And, like...
Yeah.
when it does come to, which this does also feed into infighting, when it comes to infighting, it's an issue of like, we have more in common than what we don't, and everyone is now apparently sitting here calling Shark 300 like an Uncle Tom because he's not a hater of Vosh, which is like, really? we're doing this?
I saw the periphery of that discourse, because, fuck, I don't want to deal with that.
I'm not dealing with it either. It's so stupid. And I'm like...
It's so dumb.
Yeah. And honestly...
Didn't he have, like, a debate with one black guy about the black community?
I think...
And he disagreed with the black guy.
Yeah.
About, like, what was it, black nationalism or something?
Yeah.
And then everyone around him was just like, whoa, wait, you hate black people?
Yep.
It's like, what? I didn't say that. Wait, hold on.
It's so fucking stupid. And
oh, God.
My thing, again, like, going back into that, is like, we have more in common than we don't, but there are so many people who just view, and I'll be 100% honest, drama gets clicks. Like, I'll say it 100%. Drama absolutely gets fucking clicks, and I feel like so many people look at left-wing content and they go, holy shit, this is a good place to start drama. And it's like, people like Vosh are a perfect fucking scapegoat.
Vosh is a pedophile.
Yeah.
Vosh hates trans people. Xander Hall is a sex cult. There's so many more. Heffels is like the devil
stole
reincarnated.
people's money and is hiding off somewhere in Europe now on everyone's funds.
Like
Keffels
hiding in Venezuela.
Like, it's so stupid. And it's like, we don't need to do this or be like this as a community. And honestly, fucking, I don't want to do like the whole like anti-video essayist shit. But like, the only time that I really see this shit happening is like, fucking, it's almost always video essayists starting some shit that shouldn't be started. And it's like, shut up. You know, sometimes that's just how I feel. Just like, shut up. Please. You know?
And then again, this happens with debate as well. Like the debate streamers. I don't even like to do video essays versus debate people. I think it's streamers versus debate.
Yeah.
Or streamers versus videos. Because the streamers themselves, they produce so much more content that they can say more.
Yeah. Even
if it's less like directly researched and educated stuff, it's still just as valuable. And the people who make these long form videos, I don't know if it's envy or not envy. I don't know if it's like they wish they could do that as well. But it seems to happen where that group will look at the short form videos or like the streams and just discredit it outright and just say that it's not, like, you can't be doing trans activism or you can't be doing black advocacy.
Yeah. And it's like...
And then they post an hour-long video that's just, or like multi-hour-long video just hitting on your own team.
Yeah. And it's like... at a certain point, it just becomes... And again, this kind of goes back to the thing that we said earlier about you're like just harming the movement and people who you like. That is ultimately what it kind of becomes whenever we do that. It's, you know, you aren't helping anyone. You're only harming people. And what you're doing is you're splitting... Like, you are actively alienating people who could benefit from seeing your videos or your content. Like, I'll use FD Signifier as an example. FD Signifier unironically made like a really good video that I liked like a little while back that was about sports and like its implication that it had on like the commodification of like black bodies. And I thought it was a really salient critique of the sports industry and things of that nature. And then he turns around and he does dumb fuck shit, and it's like, dude, why?
The FD Signifier thing was the whole like, his big critique on like the black people can jump, black people can run, like that whole thing.
It was, well, it was, I watched it a while back, but like the entire video was him basically speaking about his experiences with like, he has a son, and talking about the way that people spoke of his son, feeling like, because his son played sports, and it feeling like he was almost being commodified. And then he looked back on his life as someone who was, yeah, a bit more nerdy, but also someone who played sports, and how that felt as well, and how kind of the way that, oh shit, I looped myself around, kind of the way that people do speak about some people's bodies in sports, especially black people, feels almost kind of like a repeat of like slave auctions. He was basically speaking about the fact, and it was like a wider comparison to the way that black people did used to be commodified legally, and how that has kind of repeated into the modern day, and relations of that to like the prison system and etc. And I thought it was a pretty salient, nice video, and it's honestly sad, because it's kind of hard to look at that now and enjoy it, just due to all of the dumb fuck shit that he said before.
Exactly. Like, a lot of the people who... I'm more of a person who watches the debate side of left-wing content more so than the video essays. And I have seen in those communities where it's... people are actually, like... they don't enjoy watching the content from these genuinely good people. Like, people hate ContraPoints now because she did a whole thing against Vosh. And even though ContraPoints has so many great videos, like, consider watching all of them.
Yeah.
But people now don't, because she said one dumb thing one time, and now it's soiled it.
Yeah. And that's the thing about it too. Like, when it oh wait, no, you go ahead. You were about to say something. You go ahead and finish.
No, I was not.
Oh, you weren't? Okay. Well, if that's the case, then I'll say this. That is a thing too that we do also have to consider when it comes to like the content that we do, and like the communities that we build. One of the things that I've had to do over time is like kind of in my head just go, okay, this person said some dumb fuck shit, I have to like, or this person associates with some dumb fucks, I have to disassociate myself in my mind from like not watching this person's content just because they said some dumb shit. Like, one of the podcasts that are like, this is a short aside, is Lines Led by Donkeys, and the person who runs Lines Led by Donkeys, but I think is like the manager / editor for it, is also the manager or editor or whatever that position is called when it comes to podcasts, for Kill James Bond, which is part of that podcast has Abigail Thorne on it. And apparently in that podcast, like, they badmouthed Vosh like pretty bad, and they did the whole like, oh, weirdo Vosh thing. And it's like,
yeah, I heard.
Yeah. And when I heard that, I was like, and then I just kind of had to sit down and go like, it's still good fucking content. You know, Lines Led by Donkeys is. And me hearing about Abigail Thorne doing that isn't going to stop me from fucking watching Philosophy Tube, because she's great on Philosophy Tube. And, like, I ultimately have to separate myself from the stupid fucking drama, because this lunchroom drama shit isn't going to help me when it comes to, like, coming up with talking points.
I think the two groups existing in... they can't really exist next to each other due to the different natures that they come from.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have... I don't even think it's that you can't have it. It's that the situation we're in right now doesn't allow for it, where people will use each other as mediums to benefit each other.
Yeah.
And for some reason, we just don't. And it baffles me to no end. Is it just... why?
Yeah. And it
like,
is...
the promotion opportunity. It's just... Go on.
No, you go ahead.
No, I finished my statement.
You sure?
Yep.
Gotcha. But yeah, no, I agree when it comes to like working together and promoting each other. It's like I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for being promoted by Zan, and he wouldn't be where he is if it wasn't. Well, he is largely self-made, but like a lot of other people in our communities wouldn't be where they are if it wasn't for interacting with other people. And that's also a trend that you see in video essay communities. A lot of like bigger, well, upstarting and like kind of big video essayists that exist now are where they are.
Noah Sam.
Good.
Noah Samson's an example of that.
Yeah, yeah.
He had a very small channel until he got promoted by like 4 different video essayists, and then had his drama with Vosh.
Yeah. And like people wouldn't be, yeah, people like that wouldn't be where they were if it wasn't for interaction between communities. And it's like, instead of fucking hating each other for no reason, which like sometimes it is justified, you know? Like I'm not gonna blame Zan for not wanting to fuck with like Thought Slime, because fuck Thought Slime. But
yeah,
you know, like when it does come to like largely small shit, I think the left would be so much better if we could just look at some of this dumb drama shit, mostly from the video essays community, I'm not gonna lie. But like if they could just stop fucking starting shit that doesn't need to be started, you know? I don't want to feel guilty watching FD Signifier. I don't want to feel guilty watching Cat Black, which fuck Cat Black, I don't watch her anymore. But like, I don't want to feel like shit watching these people. But it's hard to do that when I see them promoting dumb fuck positions and only encouraging infighting where there isn't needed to have infighting.
I don't know who Cat Black is.
You don't know who Cat Black is?
No.
Cat Black is the lady who, like, a little while ago, she is a black trans lady content creator, and, like, a little while ago, she largely produced, like, pretty decent content, but, she got into some shit with Fosh, and she exposed, like, their DMs, and it was really shitty. It was really fucked up what she did, and,
it was the whole, like, we used to sex kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was,
I remember that.
It was pretty bad.
That was a while back.
Yeah. Hold up. But yeah, no, it's sad that this is just a fact of, I mean, honestly, just like a fact of the left, that this is what we're dealing with content-wise when it comes to the way that the content creators that we do like interact with each other. Like, people shouldn't be... In a perfect world, people wouldn't be doing dumb fuck shit like this. But you know what? That's how it is. And when it gets down to the video essays community, I'll put it like this. I plan on starting video essays during the summer, and also when I get to college and I'm going to have a lot more free time, because I'm not gonna have to deal with a job, and I will be like the avatar of both communities. I will.
Yeah, when the video essayists and the debate bros combine, they come to protect us from the.
Yeah. The two nations used to live together in harmony. Then everything changed when Thought Slime attacked. True, no, but I will bring a new age of harmony.
The two nations used to live close. They were neighbors.
Yeah. They were relatively chill with each other. And then fucking ContraPoint said some dumb shit.
Yeah.
God. But yeah. So. It's... We'll have to see, I guess. But...
Honestly.
Yeah.
Who knows how... Like, I know I can't fix any of these big issues with content creators 400,000 times my size. And... I can't fix any of these issues, but these things are rarely ever talked about because the people who would be able to talk about them are a part of it and have the incentive to not speak of it in this way.
Yeah.
Like, the video essayists don't want to talk about them having a problem, because they never have a problem, according to them.
Yeah.
The debate bros don't want to be the ones to point it out, because that would have to show that they need to fucking do something other than stream for 16 hours a day. Which, like, good on you. It's supporting, like, that's communism, boys.
Yeah. And, like, ultimately, it is... Yeah. It is largely an issue of this stuff is too entrenched, and it brings clicks, it brings views. Drama is great when it comes to views and shit. That's why debate streams do so well, and that's why part of growing as a streamer is doing debates, because debates are just drama on a larger scale, and that's great for content because people like to see drama and shit. But at the end of the day, we're doing nothing but wasting time fighting each other over small menial shit. And eventually that small menial shit does unfortunately get to a point where it's like, okay, I can't ignore this, like with what Cat Black did with Vosh, or with what people have been calling Shark and doing and saying about Shark. Like, it unfortunately got to a point where it's now like, you know, can't ignore that. It's too serious to ignore. And it just kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I'm worried about what's going to happen to me when I get into it, because, you know, fucking Bridge of the Avatar, who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, get sent to the spirit realm immediately.
Yeah. God, that's going to fucking suck.
Why is my computer screaming at me? Holy crap.
Damn. I mean, computers be screaming.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Alright.
Well, I think this has been a great discussion.
You gotta go service your computer, I'm assuming?
No, I'm probably gonna go play Genshin Impact with a friend of mine. If I see a single comment in your chat about that, I promise you, the Avatar is not happening.
Wait, question. Who's your main?
Yeah.
In Genshin, who's your favorite character?
Who's my favorite character? Oh god, Hu Tao.
You're a Hu Tao fan? Ugh.
No, hold on. This is gonna be taken out of context. It's not that I'm a Hu Tao fan.
You're... What does this mean? Let us see. What does this mean?
Oh god. What does what mean?
What do you mean by you are a Hu Tao fan? That is what I
didn't say that.
Oh.
You said that.
Okay, so I misinterpreted. So you are... what about your relation to Hu Tao? What is significant about it?
I enjoy the way the character plays. I enjoy the way the personality.
Alright.
And I enjoy the personality.
And you enjoy the personality. Okay.
And I enjoy the person.
Okay. And by personality, you mean personality and not like a euphemism.
And by personality, I mean... personality.
Okay.
Take this how you will.
Okay. Okay.
No. Okay. Yeah, Alright, no, there goes the rest of my thousands of followers. I'm definitely...
Well, Hu Tao's like 20, so you're fine.
No, she's in the wrong then. I'm still a minor.
Oh, okay.
Wow, Hu Tao's a pair.
God.
How?
Well, personally, I am a... Wait, actually, hold up. Let me check this. I haven't checked this since I turned 18. Let me make sure I'm still in the clear.
Play Genshin Impact?
Occasionally. I was never really that into it.
Oh, okay.
Let me see... She's 18. According to the first Google search, she's 18. Sucrose.
Amazing.
I'm a Sucrose fan, personally.
Oh, okay. That's controversial W.
What's controversial about sucrose?
Do you want me to answer that?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, no, hold on. I haven't touched this game in a while.
Is it the ears?
No, it's not even Hutao. It's Gaylon. I fucking love Gaylon.
Huh.
Big mommy milker.
Okay, well, if that's the case, then you're definitely in the clear. I can understand the philosophy behind the milkers.
Nah, Hutao funky and cute though. That's why I like it.
Fair.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, if that's I feel like we got through all the stuff I needed to talk about. Mm-hmm. If you have anything you'd like to mention, get my opinion on, just banter around for a bit. I'm here to talk.
Yeah, sure. You want to plug your socials?
Oh, Anarchist Ahken on everything. I'm gonna start streaming soon. I'm hoping.
All right.
Come check me out there. Twitch, Anarchist Ahken, and it's pronounced Ahken, not Ahken or Ahken.
All right.
Well, yeah.
Sounds good.
Thanks for the convo. You have a good time.
Of course. You too.
Have fun.
Thank you
have
for
fun
the convo.
With your Zelda, saving Peach, whatever her name is.
Indeed. And you have fun with Tears of the Kingdom. Oh wait, what? Wait, God. Okay. That was a fun convo. I enjoyed that thoroughly. God damn, it's 10:27? Shit. I've been streaming for a while. Okay. Yeah. That was fun. It's 10:27 and I do have to go to work tomorrow. So, I didn't wait, I don't know why I'm typing. Ahken, it was only really bad towards the end. Like, it got a little bit tinny, but, like, for most of it, it was fine, so don't worry. I didn't realize how late it had gotten. I had a lot of fun in that convo. That was good. That was nice. That was lovely. Ahken, our kind friend, plugged their socials, so go follow them. I will link those down below when I do upload this. And, yeah. So, if you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon, links in the description. Of course, to my Discord and my Twitter. Feel free to DM me if you want to have a conversation like this with me, and I love you all. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.